If you don't have a ton of time to make beats, but you know you should in order to build your skills and improve the quality of your compositions, this video is perfect for you. I'm gonna break down how to make soulful R&B beats in only 1 hour a week. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is level set. So for that, we're gonna have to understand what we're not doing. And what we're not doing is we're not making a full song with transitions, different sections, turnarounds, bridges, not doing that. So what we are gonna do is focus on the fundamentals. Get something that's solid that we can build upon if we wanna come back to this beat later and expand upon. So what we're gonna do is try to focus on something that's 4 to 8 bars, just a nice little loop that's fundamentally sound. All right, not gonna hold you. Let's just go ahead, get into the process and the time allocated to each specific step in the process. So the first thing that we're gonna do is give 10 minutes just to listen to references, open up a Spotify playlist, and then just notice the vibe. Check out the approximate BPMs. And then you wanna take a little sneak peek of like keeping notes in regards to what sounds and instruments are they using in the genre that you're trying to make, all right? Next thing we're gonna do is open up the DAW and start selecting our sounds. We're gonna want a versatile drum kit. We're gonna want a main instrument, keys, guitar, piano, and then we'll move on to something like plucks, leads, and then finally bass. But before we move on to that next step, what we wanna do is go ahead and save this as a template in our DAW. That way it'll save us just a little bit more time the next time that we go back in to make our next beat. All right, so I'm saying spend 15 minutes on the drums. I know there may be a little bit of controversy in regards to, do you start with the drums or do you start with the harmonic instruments? I say start with the drums because it's part of, the answer is right there. It's part of the name of the genre that we're doing, R&B, rhythm and blues. So get that rhythm in first, get the drum set tight, and then everything else will fall into place. Next thing we're gonna do is spend 20 minutes on the harmonic elements, spend 5, 7, maybe 10 minutes on getting a strong chord progression together, and then flush that out. Go ahead and play it into your DAW with your main instrument, maybe support it with a keys or a pad or something. And then if there's time, put a little ear candy in there with some secondary instruments. And then last, we're leaving 5 minutes to do the bass. I know that doesn't sound like a long time. However, I have a video that you can click in the card right up there that goes through how to make bass lines quickly, and it's just gonna strengthen your ability to make bass lines. What we're gonna do is stick with the fundamentals of putting the rhythm first in the bass line and then following the harmony of whatever we're making, the chord progression, all right? So what we have to keep in mind here is the goal. The goal is to get the idea out of your head and into your DAW, all right? So what we were looking at here is kind of just the truth of what happens when you're consistent with just spending this 1 hour every week. So if you start in January, you get 9 beats in February, then you're up to 13 beats in March. By the time you get to June, you're at 26 beats. You multiply that by 2 for the whole year, and you're at 52 beats. That's a lot of beats versus doing nothing. Now, I know I'm being a little extra. I'm sure you would get some beats made within this time frame. However, the thing is you can't really count on it. It's not predictable, and you're just waiting for when the mood strikes. If you're consistent, you'll definitely knock out more beats. So in order to stay consistent, what we're gonna wanna do is avoid these 2 common pitfalls. The first pitfall is comparison. You don't wanna compare yourself to anybody else other than yourself the previous week before. Are you getting better? That's the only thing that really matters there. So you don't wanna, set expectations that you're gonna sound like Dilla or Pete Rock straight out of the box. It's just not gonna happen. These guys are legends, and even they took time before they were known to harness and sharpen their skills. Pitfall number 2 that we want to avoid, of course, is perfectionism. We don't have to get stuck with is this the hottest beat that we can ever make? Is this going to be something that's on the Billboard Hot 100 or the Spotify Top 50? Don't worry about that. Don't get caught in perfection. It's okay to get something fundamentally sound down and then build upon it later. And I say that because the truth is, you're going to find out what you like. And of the things that you like, you're going to keep doing that. I mean, it's working, so keep on at it. The other thing that you're going to find is you're going to find things that you dislike. And if you dislike it, you simply do less of it. Or the other thing is, if it's something that you want to improve on, now you've identified the things that you dislike and the things that you know that you need to improve on to get to where you want to be. So with that, all it is a simple Google search, how to make better chord progressions if you don't like your chord progressions, how to make better bass lines if you want to improve on your bass lines. If you don't have the sound selections that you're looking for, that's a Google search away too. Or you can check out XXV Beta to see if that'll work for you. Link down below in the description. And if you like what you hear, you can try out the full pack XXV Sovereign Soul, and that'll really help support the channel. All right, that's enough of my commercial. Let's keep moving forward. Now, here's a couple tools that I use in order to stay on track and stay consistent. The first thing is setting a timer. Like, what this does is help me progress and keep moving things forward. There's some times where I'm like, yeah, I think this could be better. I think I could make the chord progression slightly different. Doesn't matter. Once the timer hits, it says move on. If it's fundamentally sound, you move on to the next piece. The other thing that I do is I try not to overthink while I'm creating. I keep it simple. What I do is I say it's okay to make okay beats or even bad beats as long as it's moving me forward to help me identify my likes, my dislikes, things I want to improve on, and help the overall quality of my taste and my beat making. All right, so you know the steps and you know how much time to allocate to each one. You know the pitfalls to try to avoid, and I've identified some tools to help you stay on track. However, if you want to get better at making bass lines faster, you should check out this video here.